Yeah, it says recording.
Yeah, and I see a record button here, but I'm not going to record it.
Cool. So how are you doing?
I got done with my workout, ate some watermelon, have my kefir ready to drink.
Cool. Good for the stomach.
Yeah, keep the happy biota going.
Yeah. It looks like it's a beautiful day out in New Mexico.
Yeah, look, there's a cactus.
Yeah.
Hey, maybe that's good. Huh? No, too dark. Oh, why is that
Yeah.
happening?
I noticed that the light on my, like periodically I may turn green. But it's okay.
As long as it's not with envy, that's okay.
Yeah.
I don't get it. I don't. I just had a friend say, I don't like Zoom. If you want to talk to me, come visit.
Huh.
And I've been, well, Athena more than me, but very sensitive because I'm in the Walking Dead group.
Yeah.
Old level, stage 4 cancer. I mean, come on, get real.
Yeah. A lot of additional risks.
Yeah.
You look great though. I mean, you really do. Like,
Yeah, I've lost weight and not because of cancer or anything, just
good.
because I want to be as healthy as I can to survive this summer's, which may not be Sundances, but to survive.
Yeah. To just make it through and enjoy some more beauty.
Well, even walking every morning with Willow up on the mountain,
Yeah.
if I lose 1 pound, each step is 3 pounds lighter.
Wow. That's awesome.
And my knees they're old.
They've done some walking in their day. They've done some dancing in their day.
Yeah, and I think I never stretched. I did a lot of weights and stuff,
Yeah.
but never did the stretching kind of stuff.
Cool.
Who knows? They're arthritic anyway. I like
So,
that behind me.
I know it's nice. It really does. I would really love to get out to New Mexico. I've never been there, so.
I don't think that you would probably imagine it like it is here.
Really?
Will this work if I scan out the window?
Wow. Yeah. That's beautiful.
I mean, this is not Sahara desert country.
So just so the plan is to record some video with you to get a kind of a history of your experience with the dance, some of the things you've learned, some of the ways that it's affected you, and to just kind of go through that. I'm super interested in hearing about it myself. You've told me a little bit through the years about your experience, but I just think that this is a good chance to share it with more people, and also, you know, share more deeply. It's super interesting to me, and I think I just want to have partly because we aren't going to have a dance this year, it looks like. I want to just, hopefully we can, but you know, depends on what Rona decides to do, how she decides to act. So just kind of like we still have this vehicle of the Facebook group and the community, so to get a little bit of exposure to some of your history and what it really means to you on a deep level, what ceremony has done for you and stuff like that. So I was hoping, Two Crow, we could talk a little bit about what life was like before you started doing ceremony, why you got engaged with ceremony, what it was doing for you back then, but also just your experience. I know that there were some real characters that you were involved with. A guy named Derwin White Lightning has come up a bunch of times. I never met him. I wish I had. So how did it all take place, man?
Well, I think everyone is born with with a kind of sense of ceremony, tribal sense. I have a picture, but I don't know how to show you because it's on the screen. It's a picture of Lucy, which was the name given to the first humanoid
Yeah.
uh, woman, was a woman. And I'm going to send it to you.
Okay.
And to me, when I saw it, she's beautiful. She's my grandma. Great,
Yeah.
great, to the nth degree grandma from Africa, so I'm African. And those people were tribal, and they did ceremonies. Was the sun came up,
Yeah.
and you're grateful, man. That's all. I took a breath. I'm grateful. That's a ceremony. So I've always been in ceremony, but
Wow.
I didn't have a cerebral conscious awareness of it um, until, or who knows, it's hard to say. I would do things that were ceremonial, that had a form, a
Hmm.
set form. Long before I got involved with Native American ceremonies, I was doing research up in Alaska, and before I'd go, I'd be walking on Puget Sound, getting myself ready to travel, smoking a joint, who knows.
Yeah.
And Stone would say, "Hey, Two Crow," which wasn't my name, "pick me up. I want to go to Alaska with you." I said, "Okay." Then another one, "Hey, Two Crow, pick me up." Pretty soon my pockets full. Says, "Hey, that's it, guys. That's enough."
Yeah.
Okay. And I would go, and then usually I'd then end up in Kodiak, walk on the beach down by Women's Bay, and here, you guys want to go here? Yeah, and then a Stone there. "Hey, I want to go back to Seattle." And all right. So to me, that's a ceremony. I did it the same way. It had a structure. But like every ceremony, there's a form. Here's how you do these katas, or I did a little Tai Chi. You do this, you do that. But if you do it long enough from your heart, pretty soon your brain's not there.
Yeah.
And you're just doing it. You're
Yeah.
just flowing with what is. So that's the essence. So every ceremony to me has a form and a substance, an essence, a spirit.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
really hear that. Yeah. Like, so when you bring up Lucy and our tribal nature, it for me, like, there's even like the coyote, like the coyote when he's out in the field with all his buddies running around. There's like like, they're ditching through trails and stuff like that, and they're looking for the rabbit. And when they find the rabbit, they do this cackling, "Yeah, we did it!" Like kind of like teenagers to me. And I really do like. I also feel like the ceremony is an intrinsic part of us, and it's this state of really being right there in it and with it. Um, Now I haven't personally danced. I've tended fire a number of times. I got to be in the ceremony, in the circle with you at that first dance up in Trinity. I was in there tending the fire for a little bit because we
Right.
had that weird ceremony. But that's real different than actually being in the midst of the dance. And I'm wondering if you could tell us a little bit about your first dance, like what it was like for you, and some of the things that you went through.
Yeah. Let's see. I have to do a Reader's Digest version.
Okay.
Because otherwise, because where do you start? Well, I
Yeah.
don't know. Probably my spirit's been around for maybe since the Big Bang, but who knows?
Yeah.
But I guess I would put it this way, that one day I was guided to by an angel, which to me is human beings spirits can come into us, and we become uh, sources of great wisdom and knowledge. But
Yeah.
it's not really us. It's a spirit came in. Well, their spirit came into this woman, and she told me, "Well, Two Crow, you're an alcoholic addict,
Oh,
and I can't help your family." It was a family counselor in Seattle.
oh,
He said, I'd like to help you, and I think I could, but you're an alcoholic addict, and until you stop drinking or drugging, there's no sense me wasting my time with you.
Wow.
But it was an angelic being. It was an entity talking to me, not this woman. It was in a woman's body. So I said, oh, well, what do you want me to do? She said, well, stop drinking and drugging for 1 month and go to 5 meetings. I don't care whether, and I won't use the name, so somebody who's
Monitoring your
Nazi.
anonymity.
Oh, we're gonna, this is a 12-step program. There were 2 of them she
Yeah.
suggested for alcoholics and addicts to go to.
Yeah.
And I said, sure, I can do that, because I'm talking to the Creator through this woman, an angel. Any other person tell me not to drink, I'd tell them to go away.
Yeah.
So anyway, I did that. I went to a couple of meetings, 5. And actually once I said, okay, I can make that commitment. Just like a commitment to Sundance. I can do that. The compulsion to drink and drug was gone.
Wow.
That was 35 years ago, come May 1st.
Yeah.
After 5 meetings, of course, and the month was over, I figured I'd go back out on the road, because I can't be a real addict or alcoholic if I made it for a month. And then another angel came at a meeting, and I'm leaving the meeting thinking, this is done. Tomorrow's June 1st. I'm free. And she gave me a hug and said, hugs, not drugs. See you next week. Oh, if you really feel you're talking to the Creator, you would listen. I did. Anyway, so now I'm sober and clean. And after 7 years, there was still something empty in me.
Yeah.
Something wasn't quite, I need to get down and dirty in the dirt, you know. That's the kind of, I mean, after all, my grandmother was there in the dust and stuff in Africa. I got to get back my roots. So I was, at that time, I had destroyed drugging and alcohol. Had ended 2 marriages, or helped me end them. It didn't do it. It was me. So I was going through what was it, Seattle Weekly in the personal ads. And I started to answer. This one woman says, yeah, come over. I live near Fort Lawton. You can walk your dog. So I meet this woman. She happened to be a Colville Indian from Washington State, and an artist. And she invites me in, and we're talking. And I'm looking at this one. It's funny you mentioned coyote. It's a alabaster carving that she made of a coyote. That sucker's looking at me, man. They say, come and touch me. And I'm looking, and I don't know, is it, she says, look, I got to go put on my boots. Yeah, no, you can touch it. And I picked it up. Oh, get in front, picked it up, and bolt of lightning down my arm. Hair stand. Oh, what the hell is this, man? I said, I don't know what's going on. 2 days later, I was at a third form of 12-step meeting, because my son had problems with drugs and alcohol. And this guy, at that time, there was a break. I was out having a smoke, probably. And he says, hey, you're going to go to this Native American spirituality talk? I says, I don't know. He says, yeah, this guy whose name was Little Coyote. Oh, man, you couldn't keep me away from there. It was at Seattle Center. I went. Long story short, I began to embrace these ceremonial ways that this man was teaching. He was allegedly Cheyenne. I think in the end we found out he's about as much Native American as I am, which is 0. My robe and my genetics doesn't show any sign of it.
Yeah.
But that's it. So that happened, and then this woman, Barbara Means Adams, has a book called Prayers of Smoke, which is probably out of print. She kind of took me under her wing. Don't ask me why, I don't know. But she wanted me to become one who carries a chinumpa for the people.
Yeah.
I didn't know what any of that stuff meant. So she's going to teach me. In the end, she wanted me to pray for her grandson who was born with a defective valve in his heart. Why me? I never asked her, because I learned from going to listen to Wallace Black Elk. He said, why? That's a white man's question. And I'm African, man. I can't ask a white man's question. So I never knew. But as it went, then this Chinoopa appears before me at a purification lodge ceremony, which I had started doing. And that's another thing, because that ties into our dance, Spirit of the Wind. Because there's so many, and if I don't, but I don't go in a linear way, and too bad.
It's totally
So
cool.
anyway, now I'm carrying a Chinoopa. A woman comes to me, Two Crow, I want you to pray for me. So, okay, what's going on? I'm in trial. A man beat me and raped me. And after 3 days of trial, the judge says, I got to go home over the weekend. This might be a mistrial. One of the jurors did something that jurors are not supposed to do. I don't remember details.
Yeah.
Okay, I will send prayers of smoke. That's the name of Barbara's book. Send a voice, in Lakota, to the Creator. But I'm thinking, well, what do I want to ask? Do I want the man to be found guilty? Because I believe this woman that she was beaten and raped. She had stitches, but I can't be God. I can't really know.
Yeah.
What am I going to do? Because I was taught by Barbara, Auntie Barbara, that, you don't just pray for anything. You don't pray that you get a new Cadillac. No, that's not what the spiritual instrument is. Sacred. You can't use it that way.
Yeah.
Besides that, the spirits are going to laugh at your ass anyway. Okay. And then it came to me. I just prayed, Creator, have justice be done.
Wow.
That's on you, man, not on me. And that this man never harm anyone physically, including himself again.
Yeah.
And right away, poof, I had one eagle. Big grandmother eagle comes in the room and says, oh, Two Crow, Creator already answered your prayer. Why don't you make a vow to Sundance to show how grateful you are? I said, shit, yeah, Grandma, I'll Sundance. What's that? Because in this course on native spirituality, we never went over anything, and you can't learn about it that way anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, you can read about the form. Anybody can read about the form. Okay.
Yeah. It's different being in it. I mean,
yeah, it's different. And there aren't words to really put to some of what I'll be sharing. So at times I'll just be quiet, which is unusual. So I made that vow. And now all I had to do is fulfill it. Because to me, whether it was from Barbara or Wallace Black Elk or Barbara's grandfather, Nicholas Black Elk, who wrote the book, The Sacred Pipe, he didn't write it because he didn't speak English, but it was his words translated. And I read all that stuff, but still, you don't know I don't. The way I learn is experiential.
Did it scare you to make the commitment?
No. I was filled with joy.
Cool.
And that eagle feather that's hanging there was given to me by a Lakota man from Uglala, Lakota, from Pine Ridge, who, when he gave me the feather, he said, I hate white people, but the spirit said to give you this. Hey, thanks, man. Anyway.
Yeah.
You gonna get me in jail because it's illegal? No, that's kidding. It is illegal.
It is, yeah.
Um, so anyway, now all I had to do was manifest that vow. And you know, to me, it's when I make a vow or commitment, I need to realize that first of all, I don't make it to someone else.
Yeah.
I commit to you, I'm going to make this talk. No, 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 no. That's not a vow or commitment. The commitment's to me and my Creator. That's all. And I know that the Creator could, after said, then say, okay, you did enough, Two Crow.
Mm-hmm.
You're done. No, I didn't finish 4,000 dances. No, no, no. You made a commitment. Why don't you learn what you're doing? It's 4-year commitment, Two Crow.
Yeah.
I actually danced, it was 6 years, 10 dances.
Wow.
But we may get there, we may not important. But finally, that same eagle came to me at a dance when they came out and sang on Friday night to honor the eagle dancers. But in Blackfoot, it's warrior dancers. And I looked up in the tree, and the same grandma says, you know, you don't have to suffer this way anymore. You completed your commitment a few years ago. What are you doing here? I don't know, just laying on the ground, hanging on to my rope. Anyway, I think I went off on a tangent. So how do you get to a Sundance?
You get, my experience is you meet somebody and they just introduce you, you know, like.
No, so what happened is here I'm getting ready. A bunch of things happen, not important, except one. Joe Brown, Hunkpapa Lakota from Chelsea, Montana, Fort Peck Reservation. A bull rider won a belt at the Pendleton Rodeo. Great guy. Had that famous Indian disease, the insulin thing. My brain's not working. You know what I mean?
Diabetes?
Type 1 diabetes.
Yeah.
And so when I met him, he was in the hospital and they'd just lopped off one of his legs.
Oh, man.
And we became, I don't know why, we just made this connection. And so I was for purification lodges for him because he couldn't go in anymore.
Yeah.
And when I told him I had this vow to go dance, he says, oh, no, Two Crow, that's for young men. Warriors, you're too old. I said, come on, Joe. What was I then? I don't know. 51, 52. He says, no. You know, and I was a little disappointed, but I was going to do it anyway, because my vow was to the Creator, not to another human.
Yeah.
So eventually I found another guy. He's going to go Sundance. He's going to Sundance at the Four Nations dance of, at that time, Uncle Martin Highbear,
Huh.
a well-known Lakota medicine man.
Yeah.
Who lived in Portland. So, you know, I drove down to Portland once to meet him.
Yeah.
And one time to teach me how to clean a chinoopa that I knew a person had lied on. Because you're only supposed to tell the truth when you're sharing that chinoopa with people. And this man lied. He lied about abusing women. So, and so I learned, so then finally I said, well, go ask Uncle Martin, where can I Sundance? He's the intercessor of the Four Nations Sundance.
Yeah.
Red, yellow, black, green. Oh no, the white is over there. In the Lakota colors. So,
yeah.
So of course, maybe he'd just say, you come dance with me. Well, you know, we get there and we took a big chunk of meat and his wife cooked it and we had, you know, the way you do things is respectfully.
Yeah.
You don't just, yeah, I got a question, answer question, I got to get back to Seattle. So finally we get this. Well, Uncle Martin, it was his birthday. I made a mistake and asked him how old he was. You're not supposed to. Anyway, finally I get this. I made a vow to Sundance. The chalupa that you helped me clean. Where can I go? He's quiet for quite some time. This is typical of real elders. They love to do that.
Yeah.
And then he says, you'll find a place. All the way back to Seattle, I'm pulling out, I used to have hair. I'm pulling out my hair. Why did, they only, they didn't want non-Native Americans dancing at the dance.
Yeah.
But I went to that dance that year to support a man. Got to guard the East Gate, got to cut meat, got to sing in a lodge because the guy I was supporting wasn't a singer, so I became a singer, which is weird because anyway. And I come out of the lodge and there's this guy says, yeah, I heard you singing that. And, I'm embarrassed. He says, oh no, that was good. You could tell that you understood that when you sing those sacred songs, it's not you singing. You're giving voice to the spirits. So if it doesn't sound like you think it should, you're wrong. It's how that spirit likes to say it.
Yeah.
Even words can change, or the vocables can change. Don't tell somebody, you did that wrong. No. Not if you really giving up your road for that spirit to sing.
Cool.
Anyway, so I felt better. And he was the tribe that's from Puerto Rico. Teneo, I always say it wrong. Anyway, I said, yeah, well, I'm good I can sing, but I can't find a place to Sundance. Oh, drive out to North Dakota, Derwin White Lightning. He will accept anybody to dance. Take him a gift, some tobacco, offer him your I says, no, what's his phone number? Oh, we don't have a phone number. Well, where's he at? So go to Fargo, make a right. You come to a metal thing across the road. It says Standing Rock. Make the first left over that bridge. There's a dirt road. The grounds are down there.
Standing Rock is where the protests were taking place recently, right?
Cannonball, yeah, yes.
Wow.
So I'm thinking, that's 1,300 mile drive to meet a man.
That's a long drive.
With no introduction. Okay, I made a vow to dance. I got to do this. Get there, everything's going okay. Make the right turn in Fargo. There's the thing, Standing Rock Res, little bridge over the Cannonball River. There's a dirt road, drive down the dirt road for about 4 miles. I don't see any Sundance grounds, nothing.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. No red, white, yellow, and black robes or prayer ties. Uh-oh. Drive back. Go into town. Well, Cannonball wasn't a town then. I don't even remember there being a store. Hey, anybody know where Derwin White Lightning? Yeah, he lives over there, but we haven't seen him in a while. Drive back on that road. I had a friend with me who then danced with me for many years. And we see a car there, and there's 5 guys in it, this old beat-up car. And so we get out, go over, hey, you guys know where Derwin Sundance grounds are? And they start laughing. Whoa. And the guy gets out, he points it, look over there. I said, that's water, yeah? He said, look close. And then I could see pole sticking up, just a
Mm.
little bit above the water, in a big circle. Hey, that's a some I didn't bring an aqualung. How am I going to dance over there? They just laugh. We then drove out, and this time we saw this bundle of red, yellow, black, and white prayer ties and stuff. Went down there as Sundance grounds. So that's where it started. And after it was over, and it was the most unusual thing because I had never Sundance. And by the way, before I left, Joe Brown says, "Oh, I'm so glad you're going to go Sundance." I said, "You didn't want me to go." He said, "No, I just wanted to know that your vow was sincere.
Yeah.
Here's my eagle feather fan. Have the leader bless it. Here's my eagle bone whistle for you to use.
Cool.
Here's some pins that I had for piercing. Here's," he gives me all this. Oh, I get there, and Derwin said, "The spirits of the Sweetgrass said, you are all babies. You don't know my people's ways, really. So they want you to really have an opportunity to see what the essence of this is, not the form.
Yeah.
We'll do some form, but here." So 4-day prep. First day, he says, "We're not going to use eagle fans." And some of the other guys who had danced, "Oh, sorry, me, shit, I don't know. That's fine with me.
Yeah.
What did it mean anyway? I didn't even have it till a week ago." Next day, "No eagle bone whistles." Oh, okay. Next day, what went next? I may get him out of order. "No piercing."
Huh.
I never pierced. I mean, why am I going to miss getting stabbed? Okay. Final day, no chanupas. Whoa. Okay. You're going to go in there just with you, your robe, and sage. You know, wristlets, and
Mhm.
no eagle feathers, nada. It's because you're babies. This is, now you feel what the spirits want you to feel. Don't think about the regalia. It has a place in the form, and that's good. But if you don't have a drum, can you not still dance? Of course you
Yeah.
can. So that's where I started. And Derwin and I became good relatives. So he says, "Yeah, I'm going to go to this dance in Goldendale at Buck Ghost Horses. And this man, Les Thomas, he's going to be the intercessor. So, you know, I'm going to be in your area." I said, "Well, why don't you come stay with me? I have extra room." He did. And I gave him a ride down to the dance. But in my head, I thought, well, maybe I'll dance down there too. Les Thomas was the first man I ever was in a purification lodge down at some 3-day thing at Brighton Bush Hot Springs, where I met Wallace Black Elk, Les Thomas. That's my phone ringing, and I bet
Sounds
I
groovy.
pushed. That's Krishna calling.
Oh, hey, Krishna. What's up, dude?
No, I'm not going to even go to near it. I get lost. Anyway, so I met Les Thomas. I was going back to my camper after. There were many people there, including an African medicine man, Congo Bantu man, who did this beautiful teaching about Mother Earth herself is a medicine bag, and all the plant people are straws that drink the medicine. And that's why the plants are medicine. Anyway, I
I
am
love that.
wandering again, but so I'm walking back, and here's this kind of large guy sitting on the ground by his truck, filling his face with I don't know what. And he said, hey, I said, hey, he said, hey, how are you doing? I said, one day at a time. He said, oh, you're an alcoholic, huh? I said, yeah, yeah, come have some food. Yeah. So the blessing of my being in certain 12-step programs was there's a language for those programs.
Yeah.
And when you share that, you know right away, we're all connected anyway. But then the connection gets richer, richer, richer. And I said, hey, I got some bean dip. We sat, we're stuffing, and oh, I'm feeling good and talking with this guy. He said, I'm going to pour a lunch. Why don't you come in? Oh, I've never been in one. He says, yeah, I want you to set the stones. I said, oh, Les, I've got 22,000 vision. I'm blind and in the dark. I'm going to drop a rock right on you or something. He says, no, don't worry about it. So that was my first launch.
Wow.
So now I'm driving Derwin to Goldendale, and I get there and hey, Les, and do you remember me? I know I'm asking a lot. He said, yeah, you did the rocks. You were scared, huh? I said, yeah, I didn't burn them. Oh, good. Can I dance here? Yeah, sure.
Cool.
I don't know how I had the time off from work because I was working then, but
yeah,
wow. I may have called him. I don't remember. But I do remember that was the first dance that had all the form, the structure. That was, Derwin had taken it all away. We had the tree, and we had made around the tree, maybe 20 feet out, a circle of sage, that wonderful grandfather buffalo sage.
cool.
Which is that kind I bring to Sundance, that you roll up, light it, and never go out.
Huh.
Anyway, so here there was a real arbor, Buck Coast Arbor, and I had a whistle, and I didn't have a fan. Joe took my fan away. I don't know. I did, but I did have a whistle. Oh, somebody at the dance had gifted me at Dance for Life is what Les's dance was called. And I think Walking Eagle was there as a helper the first year. And he sang this powerful eagle calling song that wasn't Lakota. I think it's Karuk. It was, when I heard that. Oh. So then finally the first day comes, and I'm going to eagle dance because an eagle brought me to the ceremony.
Wow. And
I didn't know the difference anyway. And it sounded easier because you hook up to a rope and you just dance on the end. You other guys are running around to the gates. You turn around. Oh, I'll get lost. And so finally, that first day, whatever round it was, I don't remember. Up north, we always pierced the warrior or eagle dancers on the 5th round because we honored the 4 gates first. I don't remember. I remember laying down on that buffalo robe and being so grateful.
Yeah.
That now I'm starting to really, of course, my commitment started when I made it. And I did a Hamblecha. We could go into that, but it's too funny. Yeah. So here I was, and that whole ceremony, I made it. There were times when I didn't think I could. And I learned that it wasn't about being macho.
Yeah.
I had to absolutely surrender and say, Creator, Wakantanka, Tonkashila, whatever name you like. Napi Natusi from my dance up north. I can't do this without you.
Yeah.
You got to carry my little ass through this because second day, 4th or 5th round, I'm tired. And I went down.
Mm.
And that's when I'm going to cry. That's when I really learned what compassion was. This guy who's no longer with us, dream seeker, he came over. He helped me to the tree. He says, don't worry, Two Crow. We're going to see that you make it to the end. And they took me in the lodge and doctored me. So I learned all this about, wow, there's such beauty and humanity in people. There can be. They can be
Yeah.
in everyone, not even in people whose way I totally don't think carries any morality or respect. And I'm not going to name names, but you know who we're talking about. He's still my brother. I can't say a whole Matakuasi, Nixakwawaki, two languages that I dance in, that say we're all connected.
Yeah.
I can't say that and then totally diss somebody. I can totally diss their behavior.
Yeah.
And believe me, I will. I do. Or I can try and be a beacon of light. That's even better. Why become the darkness that I don't want?
Yeah.
And I'm not being negative about darkness. It's just a way for our tiny human brains to deal with the incomprehensible. I heard that today, this woman talking about Toltec teachings and the Four Agreements and
Yeah.
Carlos Castaneda. And they're all part of me. I read those books.
Yeah. Me too.
I drove thousands of miles looking for peyote, all the way to Rio Grande City in Texas. Um, but she was talking about that in the Toltec way, there's anything you can imagine or conceive of is in this world. I think it's called tonal or something. And then
Uh-huh.
there's the Nugal and Nigal, which is, I can't tell you about it because if I can comprehend it, then it's over here.
Yeah.
And when I heard that, it was just yesterday I listened to that podcast. When I heard that, I was so happy because I tell people, well, they're just things we can't talk about.
Yeah.
Well, why can't you talk about it, Two Crow? Or you don't want to share? No, it's because if I
Hmm.
put a name to what I mean by the creator, it limits what that is.
Yeah.
And it's not limited. And that's why, by the way, after my ancestors left Africa, they went to Asia Minor, to the Fertile Crescent, to that area.
Hmm.
And they became the
Which is
tribes of Israel.
Iran today, right? The Fertile
Well,
Crescent is Iran.
but this is a little further west, but still.
Okay.
Yeah, the Fertile Crescent is, no, it's the Tigris and Euphrates. That's Iraq.
Iraq. Okay. Cool.
Yeah, it is. Persia is Iran. Anyway,
Ah,
well, my ancestors whose DNA I carry, no, they were Hebrews and very tribal people.
yeah.
And it's their God that forms the Christians' God's Old Testament. And that's
Yeah.
the one who where I out in the moment. And I'm not my God. So when I say, that's why I don't use the word God, because that's what many people think of as God. And
Yeah.
no, sorry. And
So
but those people, if you, I did my little bit of knowledge of the ancient Jews is they didn't have a word for Yahweh.
yeah.
You
Yeah.
couldn't say it.
Hmm. Because it's the tonal. It's not speakable.
Incomprehensible. It's
Yeah.
beyond unspeakable. You can't. That's it. Yeah, sorry. And
So
if you don't like it, go talk to the name I can't say. And what does it say? I am what I am. It didn't
yeah.
say I'm Two Crow. I'm Two Crow. You am what you am. Okay, Popeye, have fun. So, so anyway, that was the first dance, and then I, for whatever reason, wanted to be at 2 dances a year. Maybe because my name is Two Crow, and
Yeah.
because I love Les and I love Derwin. So I go to Derwin's dance, so was first, it was in Tacoma, Oregon. And Dance for Life, we danced all over the West. We lost one home after another. I think we went 2 years at Buck Horse in Goldendale, then down to what I call, and if Badger Woman hears me say that, she's not going to give me any more lemon drops, because it was really Mount Shasta on somebody's farm up high, and that was the year there was like 800 people at the dance.
Wow, that's huge.
There was like 150 in the arbor. Some,
Hey.
um, and that was 1, 2, 3, 4. I think we did 3. I don't remember. Anyway, I finished my 4 years,
Uh-huh.
which is another joke, because if you do 2 dances a year, are you done in 2 years? And I remember I'm laying on the robe um, at Dance for Life and smiling. And it was probably Bo who was piercing me. I said, what are you so happy for? This is my 4th dance, man. I'm done. He says, 4 years, not 4 dances.
Like, oh, whoops.
Go ahead and stop, man. What the hell? So I did complete my 4 years up there in Shasta, and Dream Seeker again, who had helped me that first year, he says, why don't you come back and be a helper with us?
Yeah.
Well, that's what I did. The dances with Derwin, I danced 2 years in Tacoma. And then the woman I was married to then, and Derwin, she was the New Lodge mama. She and Derwin didn't see eye to eye.
Uh,
He said, we're not going back there ever again. I said, well, I'm going to dance 2 dances. And I was guided to Kainai Man, part of the Blackfoot Confederacy, Keith Chief Moon, who I met in the woods on Whidbey Island in November. They're doing a Sundance prep. It's snowing, it's rainy.
wow.
And I walk half a mile into nowhere in the middle of the woods to find this place. And they were doing lodges, part of their prep. They do really hot lodges. And I'd ask, Keith, could I sing a Lakota song? I don't know Blackfoot words. He says, yes. And when I was done, and the lodge was done, he says, someday I'll translate that song. I really like it. I said, yeah, it's in their language. They don't call it Chalupa because they don't speak Lakota. They speak Blackfoot. And they call the translation is. And he said, yeah, and he did, by the way, and now is part of the Sundance. And he says, and I'm starting a Sundance. The spirits gave me permission. I'd like you to come dance with me. I says, oh, Keith, I'm not enrolled in a tribe. He said, that's okay. I said, by the way, I'm not Indian at all. He said, I see who you are. I want you to come dance. So that solved my problem of a second dance. And that wife never went with me to the dance. And it was 1,800 miles instead of 1,200 that I drive up to Canada. And I still dance there, of course. Not of course, but after I finished 10 years of a 4-year commitment, it feeds my soul. It feeds that part of me that isn't tied to this road.
Yeah.
A part of me that I call my spirit, and I consider it to be eternal because, matter can be neither created nor destroyed. It can be transformed into different forms of energy or material substance. Yeah, I mean, my physics is pretty solid, and I believe it. But I need, yeah, I'm going to let that go. I need ceremony in my life to remind me who I truly am.
Yeah.
I'm not what I did for years, which was research oceanography and physics is what I did. And I used to say, somebody introduced me. Oh, I'm a physicist. Oh, I'm a research oceanographer. Oh, that's what I do. And
Yeah.
actually, I do it as much for enjoyment as for money, because that's the way my grandma Lucy taught me.
Hmm.
You're going to be here until your body, your robe is gone. You can do the best you can to be here. I'm not going out looking for people who were from New York City, where the catch rate is great, to give them a big hug and kiss to see if I can get Lady C so I can die. No, I'm not doing
Yeah.
that. In fact, the few times I've been out since our governor asked us to stay at home, I wear a mask, even when I'm driving the car. Because I want people, especially those people who have to be rebellious, because I'm as rebellious as any mother on the earth. I'm as much for my personal freedom as a libertarian,
Yeah.
but not at the expense of all my relations.
Yeah.
No way. There is a greater good in my world.
Yeah.
It's not, I'm not saying it's real. I don't give a damn. For me, there is a greater good. And I've faced that right here, right in my face directly. When 2.5 years ago, came home from the gym, showering. Oh, I must have pulled one of the, oh, they're still there. No, I must have pulled one of my tennis. What is that lump? And I
Wow.
happened to have an appointment with my real medicine person, and she was an angel. She was one of my angels. Soon as she felt it, she said, "I want you to go to the hospital right now and have an ultrasound."
Yeah.
Go to the hospital, the woman was doing it. "Hey, is it male or female? Can you tell?" She laughed. Part of why I'm here is to help people laugh. I don't make people laugh, but I give them opportunity, and I love it. So then he says, "You got to go see a surgeon." I'll go see a surgeon. He says, "Well, we're just talking first." He says, "Well, your heart doctor has you on clopidogrel and blah, 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 and he probably won't give me permission to." I said, "Well, do you want to check it first?" And he goes, "It's got to come out. I'll get you a operating room in a week."
Wow.
And they took it out, and it was cancer. So, well, they took it out, and they did. Of course, you don't get the results right away, right?
Yeah.
Well, you're sitting all nervous, and so I keep my connection to spirit through meditation, and I like to say send a voice. Prayer also comes with connotations. People, if you say you pray, then your mind goes somewhere, and I don't want you to go there, because I'm not on my knees or something. I'm not. I just talk. Sometimes all the talk's in my head, and that may be why I'm crazy. But so I'm saying, oh, please, and I don't always have a name. I just have my guides, creator. Wakam Tonka is a good one. Happy not to see on. Please make it be benign. Let it be benign. And I did that for 3 days. And in my world, 4 days is always magic. Always. So on the fourth day, this voice comes in my head, loud as could be. TwoCrow, you can really make a better prayer than that, can't you? What the hell? I don't want to curse. What do you mean? You always do this. Your messages are always these obscure stuff that you want me to figure out. What the hell is this? I thought we were all related. Why don't you just tell me? Quiet, silence. Oh, shit. You want me to pray that whatever it is, it be for the greater good. That could mean it's cancer and I'm dead. And I don't have to make the connections to how that's the greater good. If nothing else, it's another non-gas using, electrical using, blah, 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 blah. I can make a story. I'm good at creating. Okay, I just pray it's for the greater good. Then I'm not going to pray at all then about that. There's nothing to say.
Yeah.
Thank you for that gift, because everything my Creator has given me, heart attack, kids who I've become estranged from, 3 marriages that ended, it's all a gift. A little robe that couldn't be tall, dark, and handsome. I didn't miss all 3. It's a gift. If I can't see the gift, that's on me. That's not on my Creator.
You know, the first message that you gave to me was that something that was hard in my early life. You talked about it as a gift. One of the ways that I express it is it's a difficult gift to unwrap. You know, it's like it's a challenging one. But it's very, very helpful to be able to see it that way, and like it's like the embracing of that idea, the being willing to embrace that idea gives an open vision to how it is a gift, you know, not to minimize the pain of the gift, you know. There are some things that you've taught me in my life that are just so helpful. You've taught me just through talking, but you've also taught me by the way I see you when you're in the arbor and when you're living. I see a kind of a mix of humor, gentleness, kindness, you know, and a real commitment to it. And then at the same time, a kind of a no nonsense. We're here, and I could die. You know, we could die. That's part of it. I have this robe, and this, you know, I've gone through cancer. I've gone through a heart attack, and all I can do. This is my interpretation of where you're coming from, and correct me if I don't have it quite right. But all I can do is really just show up with the type of surrender that you have to get through a dance, a really difficult experience where you rely on surrender because you're not going to make it if you don't. And I'm wondering if I have that right, and if so, or if not, what, like, kind of when you're in that dance, literally in the dance, and you're in that surrender. I mean, we talked about it being the tonal, which you can't express in words because it doesn't exist in words. It exists right there in it. But if you can talk about it anyway, to just do your you know, because we can do our best, right? Like,
Possible? Oh yes, sure, no problem. Well, first of all, thank you for the way you see me in the arbor,
yeah,
the way I want to be. That I'm deadly serious, but that doesn't mean it's not humorous.
yeah,
Not at all. To me, in fact, that happiness that comes from inside me is what gets really fed. And just so you understand, there's joy and there's happiness. And for me, so that I know what I'm saying, joy is something that I see around me. Looking out this window at this where I live, whoa, man.
yeah,
Looking over there is where I buried my dog a year ago, you know, and those tears that could come up, they're tears of joy.
yeah,
Tears of joy. The spirits organized me to have that dog 16 years at every Sundance I went to. Anyway, that's joy. So you bring me joy. That you asked me to do this, for me, is joyful. happiness comes from within, grasshopper. and, and that's the Maharishi influence since Athena and I got together, and she follows that path,
Yeah.
transcendental meditation. He said the purpose of life is the expansion of happiness. And he didn't say my happiness or your happiness, but of happiness. Happiness. So those people who believe when we all get together and pray, it goes all around the universe. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So I then want to emphasize that, yeah, I have been given a gift of it just flows for me to help people laugh.
Yeah.
Even just in a moment, you're working at a damn grocery store and checking out 1 million people, and you get a 1 second or 10 seconds to laugh, then that's, then you can kind of, oh, yeah, that guy was funny. And I like working with those people. So can I talk about, and the right word, thank you, you got me right to the right place, is transcendental. I transcend the corporal, the physical, the comprehensible. Not often in the arbor. When I was dancing, much more often.
Yeah.
There, for me, is a true power to no food, no water, no exceptions. And I'm so fortunate that both dances I participate in today have that as there.
Yeah.
That's the way it is, man. You want to go, there are dances now, and I've come to accept it, where they, at the end of the day, you can have anything but water. So if you want a Gatorade, you can have it.
Huh. That seemed, well, yeah.
Oh, no, the reality is human race has gone from one that lives in harmony with the real world. The real world is not Manhattan.
Yeah.
That's our human constructed real world. The underlying real world is out there.
Yeah.
The atmosphere has changed. The amount of UV light hitting the earth is greater than it was 400 years ago. So can you use suntan lotion today? Well, at both dances I go to, you can. When I started dancing, you couldn't put anything on you,
Wow.
including moccasins, nothing. And Goldendale was littered, and that's with volcanic ash from Mount St. Helens. And when you get volcanic ash at 110 degrees, wow.
It's a little hot.
I'm glad I'm dancing on a rope, because I would dance out a pattern and it was kind of cooler maybe than when you're moving around. Who knows? So the experience now, since I'm not on a rope and I go in when I want to go in, both of the leaders realize I'm 76. So, do what you can. In fact, Jack and I sometimes talk about, well, maybe we should just sit, enjoy it that way. That day may come. We'll see, right? But still, for me, just to go in there.
Yeah.
Maybe it's that sense that I get back my youth. It's been 25 years. Yeah. I was in a lot different shape 25 years ago. Plus, I had nice hair, but now I have more mohawk. I've been shaving. I don't know why. I have no reason. I can't say anything. I just, yeah, cool. So maybe that's about, So I'll go in, and there are during some rounds when I can get so transcend that I'm here to help people and this and that. No, for now, I'm just here to be.
Yeah.
And the difference is it's hard for me to be stable because I like to close my eyes when I go.
Yeah.
If you're on a rope, you just lean back. Yes. Whoa.
Lean back, take a nap.
Yeah. Oh, you could almost,
Hmm.
well, transcend. We'll say it that way.
Yeah. Dude, I really love that. It's like so I've had the privilege of helping to tend fire at Spirit of the Wind a few times. Um, and for me, like the heart of tending fire is to really just do everything I can to be clean inside, to not have resentful thoughts, you know, and to
Yes.
not have bitterness, you know. And it's like when I'm in that spot, it's a lot easier for me to be clear about that. It's much easier for me to notice when I'm off track and to recalibrate. So it's almost like a kind of a useful tool for me, you know.
Yeah.
It gives me a chance that I just have a harder time with in the day-to-day of life. Um, so it
Yes.
sounds to me like it's something kind of similar for you, where you just get the chance to just really be right there with it, serving others. But it sounds to me like it's almost not so much about like, oh, I'm going to serve others. It's like, I'm right here. What do I naturally want to do? I want to bring some joy. I want to be in my happiness and bring joy to the ceremony, which is awesome, man. I really love to see you out there because it's hard, you know, like when we get together, when humans get together, there's a lot of confusion and a lot of strife that can come up. So to be able to have that example is super rewarding for me. I, and I don't like to speak for others, but I really do believe that it's rewarding for the whole crew. Um, I wonder right now, like, so we've talked about how you started with the ceremony, some of the ways that some of the things that it means to you. Do you, and maybe we got another 15 minutes, half an hour to talk. I'd really love to hear what you would like to express to the community, especially right now because we're in the middle of a pandemic and people are struggling, you know. Um, we have, I think one thing that we have going for us as a community is that we know how to sit, you know, we know how to be quiet and to be still, you know, more than a lot of people because we have the practice. But yeah, I would just really love to, personally, I'd love to hear it from me, and then I imagine that other people would really love to benefit from your experience, how we can get together, rely on each other to get through this experience, and also well, yeah, I guess that's it. What do you think, ma'am?
Yeah, that's a pretty big order.
Yeah.
We'll see. We'll give you, I will say what I feel. And I think that it is to find your own way of maintaining your balance, of being in harmony with what is. Not the same as having an intention to change it and make the world better. But for me, the one thing I know that I have some limited control is how I choose to respond to anything. How I choose to respond to melanoma was that's a hard sounding name, so I call her Noma.
Hmm.
She became a feminine entity that shares my robe. And so I
Yeah.
talk to her sometimes. You know, you can have some of it. I'm willing to share. If you take too much, you're going to lose your happy home, girl. So think about what you're doing
Yeah.
because I'm embracing you. You're welcome. I already talked to Lady C. If she wants to come visit my lungs, come on down. You know, you can kill me if you want. So this is what I would share. And yeah, this is what I would share. I recently listened to a book by a woman called Anne Hillerman, who's Tony Hillerman's daughter, who wrote all about Jim Chi, and now I'm going to forget Lieutenant Leaphorn. And I love those stories. And he wove in some apparently valid things about the Dene way of life. So, and one of the things, and they're usually called Navajo, but that's what the Spanish called them, and some of them would rather be called Dene. So I try to appease both. So whatever you guys are that I drive through every year to go up north and dance, you know, they talk about walking in beauty.
Yeah.
And I often will say to someone, may, like on your birthday, may you continue to walk in beauty. And what that means, Anne Hillerman in her book wrote about this, gave this example. So an elder, Dene elder, says, what do you do if we have a drought? Well, a lot of people will pray for rain. But we pray to be in harmony with what is.
Yeah.
And it's an interesting thing. And I don't want people, somebody to say, oh, don't say blah, 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 whatever. This is what I believe. And if that came from them, I want to give them credit.
Yeah.
But I've embraced it in me to say, oh, so this is like the serenity prayer. That's what you're telling me? That Creator, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change. I can't make it rain. Sorry. As much as I believe human potential is infinite, no, I don't believe that. That's the Nugal. That's not me. I'm in a robe. As long as I'm in this robe, I am limited, and I'm not going to make it rain. But I can be in harmony with what is and see the beauty in what is. And no one said it's easy.
Yeah.
Is it possible? I'm doing the best I can with it today. Yeah, with Lady C and with, now I forgot my cancer's name, Noma. You know, so I have these two Crow has these two women that I'm feminine, not women, feminine entities. Yeah, these are strong, powerful things.
Yeah.
They are life and death. There's no joke about it. So if I can stay in balance, create, and that, the way I see it is that there's a whole teaching that goes with this. I'll do it quick. We got a little time. So parts of this came from Wallace Blackwell. He deserves the credit. But he was coming up with ways for simple why, white people to remember some very simple but essential things. He says, you know, think of the four directions and think of in the East, there's something with courage. And for me, that's Sinte Sapala. We have a song we sing to the black-tailed deer. But recently, in a few months ago, less than months, the weasel came because for the Blackfoot people, that's a powerful little fighter, full of courage. He'd probably take on a grizzly bear.
Huh.
Then in the South, you have you want something that's alert. So I have the Sinte Luta, red-tailed hawk. In the West, something that signifies patience, like Mato Sapa, the black bear, says, oh, it's getting late in the year. I'm gonna go rest in my cave. I'll see you guys in the spring. Or like the turtle, patient. Yeah, I'm going to get where I'm going when I get there. And then in the north, the home of the elders. What signifies endurance? The buffalo.
Hmm.
Endurance and generosity, by the way. Every part of that animal used to be you. So CAPE, cape. Look up in the sky. I can see it out my window. Immense blue cape of the Creator.
Wow.
And that's where all the medicine comes all the time, whether you like it or not, whether you believe it or not. That medicine's raining down on us. It rains on all the plant people. It rains on Mother Earth. So we can draw it up through our feet or down through the top. If we're in the arbor with the tree, it comes from the tree. I put my hands up. Look at all that old age. Jesus. Put my hands up. I look like a bat. Put my hands up. I pull the medicine down. You can pull it down to the earth and get it through your feet, or I take it in like we do up in Blackfoot, Karenite, into my heart. When you're on a rope, I've seen the medicine coming down the rope. That's why you keep that rope straight as an arrow. If you put a catenary, a mathematical term for the shape of the curve, it
Cool.
always has a low point and the medicine will drip off. Which is okay, it goes on the earth and you're dancing on the earth. But I want it to come right into my heart.
Yeah.
So how can this help? So what I'm saying is I have developed, with the help of the Black Elks and the Auntie Barbers and the Joe Browns and the Walking Eagle and on Martin Heiber and Derwin White Lightning, and I'm not going to name everybody because I don't have time and I don't remember everything. So and especially Don Miguel Ruiz. Don Ruiz, whatever, I guess, screw up his name with the 4 agreements, which is the tonal and the gal, and Carlos Castaneda. All
Yes.
this. So I have taken from them. I'm not a purist. I'm not a fundamentalist. Some people say you shouldn't be doing Blackfoot and Lakota in the same lodge. That's what you say. That's your opinion. You, each one of you, has to develop for yourself, create, take what you like and leave the rest, and develop a simple, for a mind like mine, a simple way of seeing. How do you want to walk in beauty? I want to be in balance. I want to be in harmony with what is. In the Tao, which is a way of being in China, there's something called Wu Wei, which means free, without intention, to just, oh, didn't rain. Well, I love the sun. Oh, it's raining. I love the rain. Oh,
Yeah.
oh, whatever comes. Good to have the initial intention that I want to walk in beauty, live in balance. And don't make it any more complicated. It doesn't have to be. And that's for me, a person who has 10 years of higher education, who delved into things in infinite detail. That's how you become a PhD, is you learn more and more about less and less.
Yeah.
And that's all fine. But I'm saying for my life quest, no, I'm a simple-minded person.
Yeah.
Because this is not really where it is. This is where it is. And, you know, that's what we're saying. It's that I'm an ephemeral, I'm an eternal being in an ephemeral robe.
Yeah.
This is way. But this inside, I believe, is eternal. So this is a blink in time. Yeah, we're going through, oh, everything changed. Oh, I can't go to the gym, and oh, I can't do this. And I feel compassion for, I'm a retired guy. It didn't change my income. A lot of people right now
Yeah. Some of the people
have
watching this.
no income. Or then my friends, the people who take care of me at the cancer center, they have to deal with people every day.
Yeah.
They're on the front line. They could be knocked out pretty quick.
So it sounds to me, and like you're saying that there's, so for like a suggestion, if this is what you're saying, and let me know if I'm not getting it right, but to find the four directions in ourselves as a community, as the Spirit of the Wind community, and be able to say, okay, so I've got the East, where do I find my courage? What can I uh, visualize? But that's not, doesn't seem like quite the right word, but how can I identify with the courage? How can I identify with the patience and the peace of the East? How can I identify with the wisdom and the generosity of the North, and use that almost as like a tool, like inside, to help yourself get kind of aligned, and then um, for the community to give that walking in beauty to each other. What do you think? Am I?
And it has to be customized to you.
Yeah,
So the way I do it is the way I do it. I'm not even, recommend. And it might be helpful. It might be helpful, but it's really, in the simplest form, it's the serenity prayer,
yeah,
and having developing a true belief that there is something beyond this.
yeah,
You can choose whatever it is. It could be a sea of atoms, electrons, and subatomic particles. It doesn't have to be a knowing, thinking Godhead.
yeah,
And that it doesn't have to be where you go. But that there's something incomprehensible. In fact, they did a consensus of marine life. I think they're probably still doing it, but when I was still working, and I read their report, and there was this one chapter, it was beautiful, powerful. They talked about known, unknown, unknowable.
hmm,
Because if you can't get over here to unknowable, then you don't have the whole picture. No, the wonderful human brain, or how many billion of computers you tie together, cannot still know everything. It doesn't work.
yeah,
Tell me where every atom on planet Earth is at every instance of time. You're not going to get there. Sorry. But to be able to have a belief in something that's beyond you, and that's basic essence of that. I don't. Using words is dangerous
yeah,
because there's no good or bad there. There is no blessed or evil. As far as my model of what's beyond is, it's just what is. We interpret things that way. Just like I'm saying, find the beauty, and you said, find the beauty in Lady C or whatever you're confronted. Okay, I have no money. My kids. That's that's tougher than having cancer
yeah,
because those people depend on you. Me having cancer, no one truly depends on me. They may feel they do, but I don't accept it.
hmm,
But if you're a mom or a dad out there with kids and now you're not working,
yeah.
come on, I'm asking you to see the gift in that, and that's what I'm saying.
That's a big deal, man, because like there's I really believe this, and this is something that you've taught me, which is that walking in beauty, right? The dance is a really, really good example of it, because the dance is hard. Like that's one of the things about, and again, I haven't done it. I've done a couple on Blecha, and I've spent some time, with the fire, but just just obvious observation, it's hard out there to go through that. And so to get that space where walking in beauty becomes the vehicle that helps you get through something hard takes a ton of faith. I really think that the dance is like, I really like the conflux, or the meeting of the practical, how am I going to do life, and the deeper meaningful, you know, like, so when that walking in beauty actually becomes like, this is how we get through it successfully, you know, is a very powerful lesson that takes a ton of faith. And for me, I'm a single guy, you know, and I'm still employed. So like, uh, you know, like, um, so for me, it's easy. When we talk about some people out there who don't have work and are maybe having to stand in line to get food, you know, at a like at a I'm forgetting the name for it, but
Food
that's
bank.
real. It's very, very real. And my heart goes out to people. I'm hoping that this, you know, will give people an opportunity, one, to just to get to know Two Crow a little bit better, and to be able to see from the example of somebody who has gone through incredibly difficult things, including recovery from a disease that was more of a soul disease. It's also physical, but alcoholism and the other isms that you've had to deal with. Another, building a relationship with a disease, giving her the name Noma, you know, and now we got, you were calling her Lady C, but I'm calling her uh, Rona, you know, these real serious challenges. I really hope that this is a good opportunity for people to be able to go, you know what, like, maybe, you know, maybe this is hard, and it is hard, but if I can show up with beauty and I can show up with strength, that's going to make me more able to do what I need to do to make it be a good outcome. I hope that that's the case. Um,
Right.
I hope it's not just some guy who has it easy right now talking, but my heart really does go out to people, and I hope that we can as a community come together and support each other, spiritually and also materially. Um,
Well, it's a good time. Like Athena and I are spending money to get takeout food,
yeah,
which we seldom go out to eat because she's such a good cook that why would I go somewhere else? Because
yeah,
now my expectations get pretty high. I'm looking at this soup she made. Um, but we said, no, no, we're going to spend some of our whatever check, which hasn't come yet, but I know they have been coming here to people. I've dedicated, you know, at least 10% of that to go. So that's what I can do in a practical way, besides living a life that, to the best of my ability, has value and is a beacon for people. Say, no, I got my mask on. I'm not going to fool around. You know, yeah, there's part of me that's a rebel. I don't want to do that. Don't tell me I can't go out and get my hair cut or something. I do my own. But I saw that a woman in Indiana, you know, and waves
yeah,
wearing mega hats and, you know, yeah, we can do whatever we want.
yeah,
And you can and you will. I understand. I wouldn't bother trying to talk to you.
yeah,
If you asked me, I would, but not otherwise. Because there's no need. What is it? I remember my people on their way from Africa to United States, where I was born, went through the old Jews, and they say, "Don't cast your pearls to swine."
yeah.
I think it's in the Old Testament. Must be, because that sounds like that more Yahweh stuff. You
That
know.
that one is New Testament. Jesus said that one.
Jesus said that.
Yeah, yeah.
And Jesus is my buddy.
Me
I have
too.
to, no, that's but what I'm saying is I wouldn't cast my pearls to swine.
Yeah.
Those people who want to be over there and say, no,
Mhm.
my personal freedom's more important than your life or death.
So it sounds
Okay.
like you're saying stick with what's good and what's true. Is that
Yeah.
a good way to say it? Awesome.
And I know that for right now, if I have to go out there in the world, I'll wear a mask.
Yeah.
Unless I'm out in the national forest, we ran into more than, well, not even a handful of people, and we all, I'll
Yeah.
go, you go later.
Well, Two Crow, I love you, man, and I genuinely appreciate you. You've done a ton for me in my life. I wish that we were going to be well, and hopefully, maybe things will change, and maybe it'll work out that we can gather in August, September. But if we can't, that's a bummer. But
Well, there's things that can be done. Carla did a Zoom memorial for Tisha,
yeah,
and that was really powerful.
that's awesome. I didn't make that, but I want to start making those. Um, I think Carlos and Carla, sorry, Mario and Carla are just really awesome. So
Well, that certainly was, and what Carla shared was.
cool.
Anybody could benefit from hearing her words and realizing how hard it is to have true compassion as opposed to getting enmeshed in someone else,
Yeah,
which is having pity for someone. And pity doesn't help you, and it sure as hell don't help them.
yeah,
That's why my grammar becomes rougher. Because that's me. I mean, I confused pity with love, and love to love women I could pity and rescue.
yeah,
Yeah. And I'm glad I did. It was a gift, but I wouldn't do it again.
yeah.
Why it took me 3 times? No.
Well, will you give? Sorry, go ahead.
Go.
Will you give Athena my love?
I will.
Awesome. Tell her I wish I could have some of that soup.
Hi.
Hi, Athena.
Come
Man,
by and we'll make you soup.
I will. That
But
sounds wonderful.
make a hole in it so you can not.
Cool. I love you guys. Two Crow, we're at about an hour and a half, and I want to, not have it be too long so that people, well, I don't know.
I would share with you because I'm listening to this, and I'll try and get a thingy, URL of this woman talking about Toltec wisdom.
Cool.
Because I mentioned it several times, and we're talking about Miguel and Tonal.
Yeah.
But hers is 2 hours, and so if you want to edit this some, because it makes it more, or you could do 2 versions, because I know when you go beyond half an hour, I obviously was able to talk well beyond half an hour, but for attention, it's hard.
And I've never done something like this. So my intention is to post it to the Spirit of the Wind and maybe break it up into 2 45-minute things. But I also think that people are just going to be super, super happy to watch this. Like the
I think you're crazy, but I love it.
Well, I'm so happy to be able to have this chance to sort of glean some of the ways that you think. Hey, she is adorable. Is that a she or a he?
That's Willow, who was at the dance last year, but at that time she weighed about 20 pounds, and now she's 55 pounds. she's gonna end up bigger than me.
So, can I ask, do you have any final things that you'd like to say before we wrap up, and then I'll do the portion where I get it all prepped up and send it off to the Spirit of the Wind group. And
Yeah, it's in Lakota it's Doksha Ake. until we meet again is what is said. They don't say goodbye.
Yeah.
And I would just say, to my Spirit of the Wind Sundance family and anybody else that might in some weird way end up watching this, even if I don't know you, I love you. And I'm doing my best to walk in beauty so that the earth we share will feel as little of my presence as possible.
Man, I love you, and I really, really appreciate you taking this time, and not just this time. You've done so much for me, man, and I really, really appreciate you taking this time also to give us a little bit of a chance to reconnect as a group. And so, to anybody watching this, thank you for being patient with me because this is the first time I've done this, and thank you for taking the time to listen to listen to a way of being that really makes a difference and really makes it so that life can work in a beautiful way. Thank you, TwoCrow.
Yeah.
Talk to you soon, man. I love you, man.
Okay.